What does a delivery manager do in Levin 9?
Well, it's a long answer, but I'll give you the short one. We help our customer build cool digital products. I can also give you the long answer.
Yeah, how do you do that?
Yeah, we do everything from project planning, stakeholder communication, risk management, quality assurance. Sometimes we also look into financials because this is also an important part of the job. So we do quite a lot of things. We wear many hats. A lot of us in delivery management and Levi 9 are also Scrum Masters. So yeah, this would be the answer, just to cover up most of the areas that we do. Just imagine that most of us come with a team of developers, right? Mm-hmm. But we also interact with customers starting from onboarding up to building the product, maybe doing a bit of product discovery sessions in which we actually help the customer to better define what their need is and what do they want to build.
Sounds like a very easy job. No, trivial.
Well, yeah, that's why we need some help sometimes.
How do you use AI to help you do this job better? In what aspects do you use? Can you give me some examples?
It's a very good question because AI has been the buzzword for quite some years now, right? And since 2020, when OpenAI released ChatGPT, everybody was scrambling for their jobs. Oh, they're going to take our jobs and we won't have anywhere. It will replace everybody. Well, it's not this. I want to say that it's not happening. I'm still here. It's been 4 years since I'm in Levi 9. I haven't been replaced yet with a bot. The idea is that right now, I think AI helps us and pushes us to be more creative and to focus a bit on the creative side of things and the relationship side of things. I'll leave AI do the legwork, the stuff that you don't feel like doing when you drink your coffee in the morning. You don't feel like doing a report. You don't feel like, I don't know, looking through historical data, digging through charts. I'll leave our Levin to do that. And I'll just try to think, okay, how can I approach my customer to discuss an issue, something that's burning? How can we bring more value?
This sounds like the best case scenario when it comes to AI, from what everybody's saying. The scenario where you manage to use the AI to offload some of the more repetitive, less interesting, whatever work, so you can focus on the higher value, more creative, more interesting work.
You can actually use AI in quite a lot of circumstances. But you could integrate AI because quite a lot of companies are pushing it. You could use it if you use Jira, if you use anything from Microsoft, because they're pushing for Copilot. And if you use Azure DevOps, you also have AI there. There's a lot of things. If you use project management tools like Asana or Monday, they're also integrated with AI. And you could have quite a lot of process automation being done that could help you alleviate part of your work.
You said Levin. I'm going to leave Levin to do... What is Levin? Who is Levin?
Levin is our internal AI.
Okay.
So we've built an AI inside Levi 9. So Levin is, to make a comparison, it's like our Levi 9 ChatGPT or Copilot.
Okay.
Yeah. And we've built it on site. It's on our intranet, so everything we say to Levin is confidential.
Okay.
And that's why we have it. So basically, Levin helps you with everything. Just consider it as your personal assistant. If you want to ask Levin something that you don't want anyone else to know, you can do it with Levin.
What kind of questions do you ask Levin?
I lately asked Levin, could you tell me what's the market landscape for this customer that I have and who are the largest competitors? Let's say I could give Levin some data from a financial report, for example, and ask Levin to speculate based on that data. Where do you see these numbers going? Up or down? A trend.
Do you find the answers it gives you, are they usually good, accurate? Does it make mistakes? How frequently does it make mistakes? It maybe doesn't make mistakes.
Yeah.
How do you find that?
This is the answer that answers the question. We're still here, right? AI hasn't took our jobs because AI is still something that you need to teach it. You need to tell him what to do and how to do it, right? And sometimes the answer that it gives you, they need to be put through your human filter. Sometimes the answers are correct. Sometimes they tend to be a bit on the utopia side of things. They go really bonkers. You cannot do it in reality because, again, AI doesn't take into consideration one thing, the human factor. It thinks theoretically, right?
It kind of averages out, I think, the
Try to even
input
everything
data
out.
in a way.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know if that's right. I don't know if it's wise. I don't know if it's... But in theory, you could use all kinds of AI tools for a complete flow. Like, tell it to analyze Jira results, tell it to read documents, tell it to write an email to the client, tell it to send the email to the client. Yeah. And in theory, the client could get the weekly report with conclusions and recommendations and whatever, and you've never touched it.
You could do it in theory, of course, but again, I don't think it's the scope of generative AI to be used like that, right? So I want to, and I tend to leave the creative side for me.
For you.
Because this is the challenge of the job, right? And that's why I have this job, because I like to be challenged in more creative ways. And that's why I want to keep generative AI doing this stuff that I don't feel like doing, right? You start and see the benefits. At some point you start seeing the benefits, right? It's much easier to do pair programming. It's much easier to leave the AI to do the, the analysis, the trend analysis, to help you make an informed decision based on some trends or on some historical data. So I just see it growing. I'm sure right now it's on an ascending trend, just because Microsoft is pushing a lot of it. Amazon does the same. I think Apple will do the same. I think with the new launch of the new iPhone, they're trying to insert some AI there. But I see it growing, and people started accepting AI into their lives. So right now we have fridges that say when your food goes to waste, right? Just imagine, we're 4 years into public launch of ChatGPT, and we've come quite a lot with generative AI.
Yeah, indeed. That's my opinion too. AI has definitely touched us.
Yeah.
Are you one of those people who says thank you and please to the AI when you talk to them?
Yeah, because I fear that sometimes they will take over the world and they will spare me by saying, yeah, this guy was nice to us, so let's spare him.
When the refrigerator starts walking menacingly towards us, maybe one of them will say, this guy was nice.
Yeah, but you see, I do it because I see Levin as a person, as a colleague. He's my AI colleague. That's why I ask with please and thank you. But this is just, I think it's a professional trait that I do.
Yeah, it's funny because you probably know about the Turing test. It was this idea that before we had AIs, how can you test if a program, an algorithm, a piece of software is sufficiently advanced to be considered an AI? And the Turing test was, it would be indistinguishable from interacting to a human. So if you talk to them, just based on the answers, could you tell if it's a human or an AI? But I think there's a kind of, emotional Turing test, when the AI kind of makes you feel like you're interacting with a human and you have the same human instincts of politeness and gratitude and please and thank you, which have no purpose, but it's just you feel like you're talking to a human. I find that quite interesting. At the end of the day, when you kind of draw a line and look at it, do you feel that you're more productive? Do you feel that maybe you're more relaxed? Or what is the benefit that you see overall?
Overall, I think it's both. I think I'm also more relaxed, and I think I'm also more productive, right? Okay. Because I can squeeze more in a day than I could have done in the past, right? So if I use AI to analyze trends, and I don't have to take 2 hours of my time to open various Excel files or various tools to look over there. I can just export it, send it to AI, and it's that, right? So I'm more productive. But at the same time, I'm more relaxed because I know I can actually spend that time to actually think what I'm going to do with the data and how I'm going to present it to the customer and how we're going to build a discussion around the data. So basically, I feel much more productive and much more relaxed.
I know it's impossible to come up with a precise number, but if you were to kind of approximate it, how much more productive are you? So it's like 5%, 20%, 50%, 1,000%, orders.
No.
Roughly.
Roughly.
Like, do you do the work of 10 people?
No. I could never replace my colleagues. But I think I would put it at 10, 15% more productive. You know the quote in Spider-Man? with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
I think it's the same with AI.
Okay.
With great tools comes great responsibility. So be very mindful. And I purposely used mindful and not careful when using AI, right? So I think in the end, this would be my advice to everybody. Be mindful how you use AI. It's a powerful tool indeed, but it could also leave you on some wrong paths. So
be like Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility.
Exactly.